सैनी कालबे में सकला दिन, I hide you in my heart. The series will follow the love of the smart, resourceful and beautiful Zeynep, who manages the family business, and Sivan, a naive but brave neighborhood boy who is famous as a Yakparmak wallet. Zeynep and Sivan's fictional love story will turn into an irresistible love story over time, and the audience will follow this story closely. The main character managed to achieve a lot in her life. She ran a business that prospered and many men envied such success. Since Zainab devoted all her time to work, she did not have the opportunity to arrange her personal life. She also did not meet her soulmate, but her life begins to turn upside down after fate brings Zainab and Mert together. A spark immediately flashed between them, despite the fact that they were from different social strata. She had never met such a handsome man, and therefore she was fascinated by him. Zainab immediately fell in love with Mert at first sight. Mert also responded with mutual feelings, and he would like to create a strong and most importantly serious relationship with Zainab. He has never experienced such feelings before, but a couple in love will have to overcome many obstacles on the way to their joint happiness. After all, not everyone likes such a union. There will definitely be those who want to destroy the happiness of this unusual couple. Askin Tarifi, Recipe of Love. Firat, a kebab master in his own right, wants to teach his lesson to Dr. Love, the famous life coach who plays with his destiny. Firat's furious journey drags him to a French restaurant. Firat, who was a good chef in French cuisine in the past, was reunited with the kitchen he was passionate about. The owner of the restaurant also meets true love thanks to the beautiful Naz. Chef Firat, a food wizard who blends Eastern and Western cuisines, will realize that there is not a single recipe of love in the recipe book that will surprise everyone. Birdeli Ruzgar, Restless Wind. The main character of the series had a difficult fate. As a young girl, she possessed not only external beauty but also musical talent. Malike was not born into a wealthy family, but this did not stop her from dreaming about big scenes and turning her dreams into reality. With the help of new acquaintances, she achieved her goals. Her starry hour lasted a long 10 years, after which she returned to bitter reality. For the sake of a singer's career, she refused all that she had: friends, relatives, a loved one. So having lost her job and left without a penny of money, she was forced to get a toilet cleaner in one of the night bars in the city. At a new workplace, Malike makes friends with a brand new singer named Gokte. She shares her life story with her and tries to warn her new friend from the mistakes that she made in her youth. But the thirst for fame and money doesn't allow the young girl to open her eyes and not repeat the fate of Malike. Hayatimin Aski, The Love of My Life. The story of the series doesn't deviate from the conventional from what has been presented before by other Turkish soap operas. It is in fact a romantic comedy that, although it may present several cliches, it doesn't fail to profile itself as a novel that will bring out more than one smile and will make you have a pleasant and fun time, which after all is what we are looking for. The plot revolves around Gokje, a beautiful girl who works at Agency 237, an advertising company. The young girl is single, and when all her friends get married, Gokje begins to reflect on the life she leads, the life that awaits her in the future, and the life she really wants to have. That is why the girl proposes a change, and that change is to fall in love with a man. The detail is that it is not just any man, but none other than the owner of Agency 237, a man named Demir. On his way to achieve his goal, he meets Khan, with whom he allies himself. On this challenging path to finding love, Gokje, Demir and Khan will live diverse and funny adventures. Sevmiyor. She was pretty. Deniz was a very pretty and smart girl from a rich family, but lost her beauty when she grew up. Yigit, on the other hand, was an unattractive and shy boy with low self-esteem, but became a handsome and successful editor. When Yigit went to New York with his family, these two started to exchange letters but never met face to face. Both of them were each other's best friend when they were younger. Years later, Deniz and Yigit decide to meet again in Istanbul. They both go to their meeting place. However, Yigit cannot recognize Deniz and assumes that his childhood friend and first love has not come to their date. Deniz, on the other hand, feels too humiliated when Yigit doesn't recognize her. Ashamed to introduce herself and ruin his perception of her, Dennis asks her best friend Irim to meet her first love Yigit using her name. She thinks that would be the end of her fate with Yigit, but things get complicated. Dennis starts to work at a magazine publishing office as an intern. Yigit becomes the chief editor of that magazine publishing office where Dennis works. He mistreats her without knowing that she is his real childhood friend. Irim, on the other hand, continues to meet Yigit by using Dennis' name and starts to develop some feelings for him. In this story, you will explore a love story that comprises 4 different persons instead of 2.
Ada Masali, Be My Sunshine. Hazira is a city girl through, devoted to her career and the fast-paced lifestyle of Istanbul. She can't imagine any other life. But when a company sends her to a remote island to clear the way for a new resort, one mistake changes her life forever. Poyraz is a simple man who's drawn to nature more than people. Athletic, resourceful, but socially awkward, Poyraz enjoys the peace and quiet of his small olive oil factory, which sits on a beautiful patch of land. Unfortunately, that's exactly where Hazira's company wants to build its resort. Sparks fly when Hazira and Poyraz meet, and the two opposites fall in love before Hazira realizes that it's Poyraz's land her bosses sent her to get. Without knowing this, Hazira ruins a young man's life. Before long, Poyraz's factory is shut down, his dreams go up in smoke, and the whole town faces an uncertain future. Meanwhile, Hazira's own life turns upside down when a mother falls in danger of losing the family home. To make things right, the regretful city girl must team up with a nature boy to build their own boutique hotel, which will preserve Poyraz's olive oil factory and save her mother's home. Both Hazira and Poyraz are transformed by the experience as each discovers something new and unexpected from the other. Indini asks, Love Idhar Udhar. Men and women are stubborn, but love is even more stubborn. Indian Ask is a romantic comedy that is full of love, affection, hatred, and games. The story begins when Daphne, whose family is from the Black Sea region, starts to work in Aras Technology, where the boss of the company is handsome womanizer Yalin. This story begins with opposing characters Daphne and Yalin have conflicts with each other. When Daphne's macho brother Sinar intervenes, things get really complicated. But the real blast begins when Sinar falls in love with Yalin's sister Yesim. Atis Bosegi, Firefly. Firefly Turkish drama story revolves around the life of a young couple Baris and Asli. Baris is a successful divorce lawyer who never believes in love. Asli is an intelligent, friendly, pretty girl who is full of life. She is a driver of a luxurious car and meets Baris in a car. Asli and Baris meet each other and their lives take an exciting turn. Baris understands the reality of life. The story is full of romance, emotions, and entertainment.